I would really like to thank Sports Illustrated for recognizing me, not just as sportswoman or sports of the year, but just sports person of the year. And of course, for me, none of this would not be possible without Jehovah God giving me the strength to do what I do every day and for waking me up every day.
I just wanna thank Jehovah for blessing me with tennis skills and these voluptuous thighs that I've been showing off to the world. And it's been catching man and getting that attention. Common came and spent the night at my house. He was in my kitchen with his boxers on, and
Jehovah God.
Drake is he came to my games, and we
Jehovah God.
chilled for a minute. If it wasn't for Jehovah giving me these thighs, I wouldn't be where I am today. I wouldn't have the man I am today.
Jehovah God.
Me, just Jehovah, he just blesses me. I got to show the world what I'm working with.
Jehovah God.
And that's the problem I have with Serena Williams thanking Jehovah on the video, dressed like a prostitute, to put it simply. See, what you do is you got to understand that the woman's body could be used as a weapon. And for a woman who professes to worship Jehovah,
Jehovah God.
her body should not be masqueraded or paraded off to the world like some kind of exposition. Her body should be saved for her husband. But American women don't do that. No. American women nowadays have so much low self-esteem and nothing else to offer to the world but their bodies that they got to show it off regardless of whether they have stretch marks or whether they're 300 pounds. I done seen a 300-pound rhinoceros-looking woman wearing shorts all inside her butt crack, man. She had a Murphy in them Daisy Dukes, man, but she was fat. She had no shame in her cellulite. But because I need attention, let me just go and show my skin anyway. But then you want to get mad when dudes look at you. You want to get mad when dudes holler at you out their car. But what are you doing to detract attention from yourself? Absolutely nothing at all. But anyway, getting back on Serena Williams. Does anyone know what it means to take up the name of God in vain? Let me tell you what it means. It means basically associating yourself or taking up God's name upon yourself as a representative to the world with no intention of representing Him. You understand what I'm saying? I'll give you an example. If I work for McDonald's, Starbucks, Domino's, Jack in the Box, any of these companies, I got to wear a uniform with a logo on it. As long as I got that uniform on, I represent that company and I need to be on my best behavior. I should not be cursing. I should not be in the back of the cash register twerking. I should not be talking to my cell phone loud. I should not be talking politics. Because I represent that company. And my action could make that company look bad. If I'm a celebrity, it's called endorsements. When Tiger Woods got in that cheating scandal, he lost endorsements because he was the spokesman for those endorsements. You see what I'm saying? So he took up those company names upon himself as a representative. Now, say if I signed that contract to be endorsed by certain brands or shoes or anything, just like you got Chris Paul with the insurance company. Say he signed that contract, so I want to take up you guys' name, I want to represent you guys, I want to be a spokesman, but I have no intention in the back of my mind to represent you guys. I'm taking up that name in vain, and I will lose those endorsements, and I will get fired from my job. And the same applies to Jehovah. Once I take up Jehovah's name like a uniform, I'm representing him to the world. So the way I dress, the way I talk, the way I conduct myself, my appearance, everything about me should always bring glory to Jehovah and represent it to the world. If I can't do that, then let me not even take up his name. You see what I'm saying? Because taking up God's name does not sanctify you at all. Jesus' blood sanctifies you. That comes about doing repentance and a conversion in your attitude. So when Serena Williams taking up God's name and say, I thank Jehovah, you got to understand that, sister, during your lifetime, Your appearance should always bring glory to Jehovah. Is Serena Williams appearance bring glory to Jehovah when all her thighs is showing out to the world? When the paparazzi catch her, she dressed like Sister Cherry Pick on MacArthur somewhere? You see, but even on the tennis court, how she dresses on the tennis court, you might say, oh, well, that's just a tennis outfit. Well, if it is, why the man don't dress that short? You see what I'm saying? And so, the point I'm trying to make is if she's bent over in front of me, you understand what I'm saying? If Serena's bent over in front of me, what's stopping me from getting hit in the head with the ball? Because my mind is already not even paying attention to the game anymore. You see what I'm saying? And so, I forgot what I was saying. But anyway, no, it's not bringing glory to Jehovah. I should tell you why. Imagine Jehovah in heaven, Serena Williams right next to him, in her little short skirt she got on. Now me and about 20,000 dudes sitting up there trying to listen to Jehovah, with Sister Serena sitting right next to her in her Daisy Dukes, in her little short skirt. You think we listen to what Jehovah say? We might want to, but in a man's mind, what's that sexy thing sitting right next to him? You see, we might be listening, but our eyes is over here. And normally where your eyes go, your ears go. Or your mind is sure to follow. So what Serena got on, she is not even bringing glory to Jehovah. So how dare she sit there and thank him if you're not bringing glory to him? You want to know how Jehovah feels about the way we should dress ourselves? I'm going to take it back for you. Right from your King James Viz version. Your Kizim, Jizames, Viz version. Right after Adam Eve sinned, what they do when they found that they was naked? They want to go take a fig leaf. Now, I seen fig leaves, they not too big. You got to take a lot of them jokers and tie them up to even make some underwear. Or else you got a thong, right? You got you a straight up G-string. Now, there's no way in the world a man can cover up wearing a G-string. So what Adam did, obviously, he had to take some leaves and tie it on to that fig leaf. Because a fig branch, it can't cover nothing. You're going to still be exposed. Something's going to be hanging. There ain't going to be no fig. Anyway, they tried to cover themselves up with a fig branch. Joe looked at that. He had to laugh. I'm sure he had to laugh. And that's what took him so long to even find them. Because he was sitting there laughing so hard thinking they was covering it up. Genesis 3. Serena Williams, this for you. And for any of you chicks that want to sit there and dress scantily clad. This is how Jehovah wants you to dress. Genesis 3, verse 21. Unto Adam also and his wife did the Lord God make coats of skin and clothe them. Why did Jehovah make coats of skin? They was already covered. Because he knew that you're not dignified by dress like that. If you're going to cover yourself up, do it right and cover up. If you're going to be naked, just be naked. He even said in Revelation, either be hot or cold, but not lukewarm, or else I'm going to spit you out. Be one or the other. If you're going to dress up, dress up. If you want to be naked, be naked. But don't be out there being dressed up and naked at the same time, if you catch my drift. And that's what a lot of women do. And that's what Serena Williams do. You see what I'm saying? And I'm not condemning Serena Williams. I'm just using an example of how a lot of Christians will sit there and go to church straight from the club. They have so much fun in the club that they have no time to go home and take a shower. They go straight from the club in their little club outfit. They go to the church. Sitting there praising the Lord in the same thing they was twerking with. Point I want to bring up is, as I said before, once you take up God's name, you got to live up to that name. Because according to Exodus 20 verse 7, he said, those who take up his name in vain, he will not leave unpunished. Ask the Israelites what that meant. Ask Elijah what that meant when a famine came because the Israelites did not represent Jehovah. They kept on going to those idols. Ask Jeremiah what it meant when they got took to Babylon because they stopped representing Jehovah. They took up his name, but it was not with the real intent to represent him. They took up his name because they thought that was going to sanctify him. And that's what a lot of people think today. If I just say Jesus, if I just wear a cross, I can do what I want to. But this name or this cross is going to keep me sanctified from the world. It's going to keep me clean. It's going to make me a clean, sanctified sinner. So Serena Williams get her thick behind up on that stage. And she was pretty dressed up that time. I give it to her that time. But she get her thick behind on that stage. Her breasts almost protruding out the top. And she want to say, I thank Jehovah. Well, good for you for even acknowledging Jehovah as a true God. But it's more than that, because even Satan acknowledges Jehovah as a true God. But the thing is, he never, ever, ever, ever will ever worship or ever represent Jehovah to the world. And before I go, I just want to read this to you, because you sisters are queens, man. Understand, the woman's body is one of the greatest creations Jehovah has made. With Adam seeing Eve's body, what you think went through his mind? I think he woke up from that sleep, and normally when you get surgery, you can't move. He woke up from that sleep and he seen a woman's body. I don't know what he did. But can you imagine looking at a perfect woman's body, naked, everything showing, and that's all yours? You women don't know how much power you got in your body, but you're directing it towards the wrong way. And this is from a research that, and this is why my daughters, I'll try to do the best I can to make sure that they present themselves. And it's not just so much for Jehovah. You see, because a woman could dress professional, but still carry herself like a whore. And so, for my daughters, I will try to do the best I can to make sure they dress and act feminine at all times, because I want the world to view them as young ladies and not no object. What do you mean when I say that? Check this research out. And coming from a man's perspective, I can vouch and testify to this, that this is very true. Even though I'm a Christian myself, the way my mind works, you see, the way my mind is set up. Anyway, I'll let you read this yourself. Men see bikini-clad women as objects. Men don't see bikini-clad women as women. They don't even see them as human. They see them as objects. And let me read what this says. I'm not going to read the whole thing. I'm going to put the link at the bottom of the screen. You can check it out yourself. But let me read what this study say. And just remember, next time you go out showing skin, just know how you're viewed. No matter what your intent is, I might be wearing this because it's hot. But if you want to be viewed as a woman, just know that the way you dress is going to have a lot to do with how people view you. Alright. It says, new research shows that in men, the brain areas associated with handling tools and the attention to perform actions light up when viewing images of women in bikini. It says, men also remember these women's body better than those of fully clothed women. The study looked specifically at men. Okay, it said they associated fully clothed women with the third person forms, indicating these women were perceived as in control of their own actions. The female who took the test did not show this effect. It says previous research found that people tend to similarly dehumanize those who are homeless or drug addicts. Past studies have also shown that when men view images of highly sexualized women and then interact with a woman in a separate setting, they are more likely to have sexual words on their mind. They are also more likely to remember the woman's physical appearance and sit closer to her. Taken together, the research suggests that viewing certain images is not appropriate in the workplace. The suggestion might be that there's some hard wiring there that can interfere with the average man's ability to interact on deeper levels with really hot-looking stranger women in bikinis. Women may also depersonalize men in certain situations, but published research on the subject has not been done. So basically what that's saying is that when a man go to work, yeah, there's still men that work. In fact, all men work. Males don't work. They let the women support them, like baby boys, right? Anyway, real men go to work. And in order to accomplish a task, because that's what your job is, to accomplish a task, no matter what it is. You don't go home until that task is done. In order to accomplish a task, a certain part of your brain lights up when you need a certain object. You see what I'm saying? If I'm a fireman and I need a water hose, a certain part of my brain lights up. If they were to do that test on my brain, because that part of the brain tells me I need to accomplish a goal. But yet I can't accomplish the goal without that tool. Now check this out. What that research says is that when a man sees a woman's body without hardly any clothes on, the lust part of the brain, or the brain that tells a man he needs a tool to accomplish something, is lit up. That means that when a man sees a woman half naked, he doesn't see that woman as a human. He doesn't see her as a woman. He sees her as a tool that can be used to get a job done. What is that job? Basically, to knock them boots, dog. So, next time you want to be viewed as a woman, just know you cannot be viewed as a woman by us men when you're showing all that skin. That's how we're wired, okay? Normally, we'll pay attention to what you're saying if that's the only part of your body that's open. You understand? Because for some reason, men are attracted to skin. So whatever part of the body you want a man to focus on, leave that part exposed. If you want a man to focus on your mouth, cover your whole face up and leave your mouth exposed. No, I'm just playing. But anyway, you want somebody to focus on your eye, that's why women do that. They did a study on women. It's called preening. When a woman likes a man, she's attracted to a man, she want her to look at it. She want that man to look at her face. You know what she does? She purposely pushes the hair out of her face so that the man can focus right on her face. And it's a subconscious thing. And that goes to my point of why I think women dress like this. See, a lot of women know how their body looks. A lot of women know how their body looks. But they want man to focus on this part because there's nothing up here. You understand? You got to overcompensate when you know that certain areas of your body, or there's a flaw in a certain situation. A lot of people got to overcompensate. See, short people got to overcompensate by their shortness by acting big and making you feel small. You understand what I'm saying? Call that Napoleon syndrome. So I feel when a woman is lacking up here in this area of her body or her anatomy, she got to overcompensate by showing these or down here in the thigh region. But anyway, that's a whole nother subject, a different day, different topic. But my point still is that Serena Williams, once you take up God's name, don't do it in vain, sister, because you're representing God to this godless world. And we want people to worship our God. How are we going to want them to worship our God if he cannot make changes in our life? If he cannot make us look different? If his influence on us is no greater than the influence of money or anything else this world worships, what's the point of him even coming to this side? And so with that being said, I'm out. Let me take this hood off because it's getting kind of hot and hurt. So I'm going to take off not all my clothes, but I'm going to take this mess off because it's hot. All right?